Hey guys, it's Lavender Moon. I'm going to be doing a reading for the month of August. So August energies, August themes, August predictions. So this is a pick a card. On pile number 1 I have the beautiful sunny citrine. Pile number 2 is aventurine, beautiful caramel color. And on pile number 3 is a smoky quartz. Okay, so go ahead and take a minute. Kind of look at the stones, look at the piles, and decide which one is yours, and then refer to the timestamps below. Okay, so pile 1, you picked the beautiful citrine. And these are kind of your major cards. We're also going to pull a love card and an oracle card. But right now, let's look at what's going on in these for the month of August. So I definitely see with the Knight of Pentacles, you have kind of started an idea, or you have an idea off into the future, but you are very grounded about it. You have one foot on the ground and one foot in the air, so it's almost as if you haven't quite made your move yet, but you are like on the brink of just taking off. I know this year's a little different with schools and universities, but I feel like this is a very school-oriented card. This person in the picture has all of their tools with them, and he's packed up his things, and he's kind of going after that dream that he's holding in his hand. And I definitely feel like that ties in with the August energy, at least that is usually around, where especially those of you maybe going to university or college, whatever you want to call it, it's kind of that like, yes, you have this dream, you have this maybe career goal, but you're being very practical about it. You have, again, one foot on the ground, you got one foot about to take off, you've packed up your things, or you're going to be packing up your things, and you're kind of going about that dream in a slow but steady and practical way. So I would say if you feel this time of year that you are struggling with that, make sure and take a hint from this card and make sure that you take your tools with you. Whether it's, again, I keep mentioning school and university because that's resonating a lot, but it could be anything else. It could be an idea, it could be a job, it could be even a relationship, but usually this card speaks more to like the practical things, and we'll pull a relationship card in a little bit. But just take a hint from this card that if you make sure that you don't just jump into something all crazy and willy-nilly, but you kind of take time, pick out the tools that you're going to need on that journey, and pack everything up to take it with you, then it will be a fruitful and good choice. With the King of Wands, for some of you, he has a lot of energy, right? He looks almost like a Roman emperor here, and it's like he's pointing his willpower at like world domination. And so that's kind of the vibe I'm getting from you. Maybe it goes with like this idea. So these two cards kind of balance each other out in a way, or ideally they should, because this energy is a little bit more fiery. It's a little bit more, again, world domination is what I'm getting. But the funny thing is his world domination is talking to a cat. So maybe you have these grand plans, these grand ideas, and you're sitting in your room and you're telling your cat or your dog or your little kid or little cousin or whatever, and you're telling them all about these plans, and they're listening to you, and you're getting all revved up about them. But sometimes when we have that kind of energy, we don't take the practical steps because we're so wrapped up in the, I'm going to go do this, and I'm going to take on everything, and I'm going to take on the world, and we don't do the practical steps. And so that's why I say that these two cards kind of balance each other out in that respect, because this one is a little more slow and steady, and then this one is a little more like, I'm going to go do this, passionate energy. And with both of those, that is a good balance. And then speaking of balance, so these cards definitely are playing off one another, is the Temperance card. So here we see she's doing a tree pose in yoga. which takes a lot of balance work, a lot of core holding yourself up work. If we look, she's also got sweets on one side, she's got carrots on the other, and she's also got one eye closed and one eye open. And so I think that that just speaks to these two other cards. It's confirming that whatever it is overarching in August that you have beginning or going on, that you need some balance there. You need to balance these two energies, the practical with the more inspirational, creative, fiery energy. And if you can balance them, then it's going to work out much better for you. So I definitely see, some really cool big things starting to happen here, but balance is needed. So as you're getting this idea, this world domination idea together, think of what the practical steps need to be and what tools you need to bring with you. And then how do you balance these two? How do you balance the ideas with the practical? And then also with world domination, it's easy to get fired up about it and forget about other things. And then with practical, it's easy to get bogged down into the details and the minutia of what you need to bring with you on the journey. And so she's also speaking to me about just keeping things balanced, keeping a level head, keeping one eye on other aspects of your life, and don't get bogged down between the two. Okay, so then we're going to do your love card. For August. So for your love card, okay, so you guys got the Grace card. And in other decks, this is very closely related to the Star card. So the interesting thing is, though, I am not getting that star hope from this one. I'm actually getting more of a forgiveness vibe from this. That is just the message that I am getting. I'm getting these doves, which is love, but it's also like the olive branch, the imagery from Christianity with the dove coming back with the olive branch as a symbol of peace. So I am getting that in relationships or former relationships, something to do with a romantic partner, again, whether that is present or past, there's going to be some forgiveness going on, some grace given. That could be that you are forgiving somebody. Maybe it is something that you choose to do on your own to move forward in your life. So you choose that forgiveness. Maybe they finally come forward and apologize or acknowledge pain that they caused, and you are able to finally forgive. And this could also be someone that you are currently in a relationship. Maybe there is some issue going on or some unresolved event that has happened that there needs to be forgiveness for. And if that hasn't happened yet, I feel like it's going to be coming in August. So just keep forgiveness and giving grace and putting out that olive branch in your mind. I just feel like that is a big theme for this pile in August. So forgiveness, grace, and almost in a sense, for some of you, it could be like you will be carried by someone or they will be carried by you, in a sense of maybe you forgive someone and then they ask for your help. And then you're able to carry them and you show that forgiveness. But the big thing I also get from this is a sense of resolution, a sense of calmness, a sense of like it was the thing that was needed. Forgiveness was the thing that was needed to move forward or to move forward in the relationship. And overall, it's just giving me a good vibe, but it just might be pretty intense. A pretty intense situation there. Okay, and the last thing I'm going to pull for you guys is the Oracle card. So you guys got fiber. And right off the bat, what this is making me think of is the August harvest and wheat. It's not necessarily wheat in this picture, but the coloring and the way that it is drawn makes me really think of wheat And that makes me think of a few different things. So some themes to think about in August are the harvest. Okay, August is when the first harvest happens. It is when we start really reaping the rewards of the work we have done during the summer. Okay, if you were an agrarian community. So for us, we can do that a little bit more metaphorically. So try to think about the things in August that you have been planting and sowing and tending to all summer, possibly all spring. If there's been some aspect of self-work that you've been doing, if you've been putting work into a career, a relationship, saving on finances, or whatever it might be, that you take time in August to really reap those rewards and recognize the fruits of your labor and celebrate them. This also makes me think of, with harvest and also with fibers, because they're woven together, community. Okay, so I feel like August is going to be pretty big for you guys with communities. So whatever communities you're part of. That could be, again, back to possibly school, college, university. It could be that community is going to become very important to you, and that maybe in August you should take some opportunities to join some new activities, however those are going to play out with everything during the pandemic. But even if it's just on Zoom or a virtual meeting, like, get involved in the community. I also think this resonates with all of the movements going on right now, the social media communities, any of those things. So tightly woven relationships and communal vibes is what I'm getting for you guys for August as themes and things that are important. So overall, I think August is going to be a pretty cool month for you guys. Like I said, a lot of new beginnings with some cool different energies, but just remember to balance the creativity with the practical, but definitely be excited, because those are just some good cards, good energies. But remember to balance. Balance is big, and then forgiveness. There's some sort of forgiveness going to be going on. And then again with this, community and how things weave together, and then recognizing your harvest, what you've harvested over, or what you're going to be harvesting due to your hard work over the summer. All right, guys, thanks. Okay, pile 2. You chose the aventurine stone, and boy, was it a good choice. I really see some great energies for August for you guys. So starting off just in this middle, this is what's standing out to me at the moment, is such a celebration. This is a time of happiness, of celebration, of getting together. That might seem ironic because I know a lot of people are in quarantine places, but at least the energies are energetic and communal and celebratory. Okay, we have balloons in the back, we have a shelter table with flowers on it. The cats are playing with the little magical confetti, and these women are joined together, lifting up their wands and showing their power. So I do get a lot of feminine energy from this card, so maybe there is a sisterhood sort of group or community that you belong to, or it could, again, just be this celebratory event or attitude that's going to be going on in August. There are a lot of fairs and festivals, which again, I don't know that they'll be going on, but I think it's a very much like celebrating the end of summer and the beginning of a new year, which I think, at least in the US, we think of August as kind of the new school year. So it's like it's a new beginning of sorts for us in August here. So again, very happy energy there. The 7 of Pentacles is also a really fruitful card. I mean, in this case, literally, she's holding some grapes, and there's grapes throughout, and she's got her, the pentacles are laid out in the trees, and I always personally interpret pentacles as like little mini dreams, because they're stars. They're golden stars, and so I always see it as like another piece of fruit hanging on the vine. Like, she has put in work. She has put in work all summer growing these grapes, growing these crops, and now she's inspecting them. and she's kind of admiring her work and admiring what has happened and has grown. So I think for August for you guys, again, it's going to be a really happy time. This introspection here is more of a like relaxed proudness. So take some time to think about what you grew this summer. I mean, it could literally be in a garden, but you could also think of it metaphorically. What did you work on within yourself? Or did you put effort into a career? Did you put effort into a project or a relationship? And take some time in August to really just like take it in. Take it in and enjoy it. Observe what has grown and just relax. Like, this is a time, like, I mean, she's got this glass of wine and a book. Like, it's a good time. It's a good time, relaxed time, happy time. I just feel like your August is going to be pretty darn calm and good. And then we have the Magician. And again, that's a pretty good card. I mean, that is a card where it says that you have everything that you need at your fingertips. You have the willpower, you have the emotional stability, you have the financial resources or the education necessary, and then you have the logical, maybe even if you needed to do research, like you have the mental capacity. Plus, you have the, what we would say magic, the willpower, the ability to make anything happen in your life. And with these energies, I just think that that's super positive. Like, it's going to be easy flowing manifestation for you in August. It's not going to be an uphill battle. There's just good vibes all around. So I would really reflect on that and really, like, if you're struggling in any way, just remember, like, you have everything you need at your disposal. And even if it doesn't seem like it, look around and see what you can use. I mean, in a physical sense, yes, but also in a mental sense. Look around. What resources do you have that you might be missing out on, that maybe you like misplaced and you can't find? But look around. Like, maybe you can substitute something else. I hope that makes sense how I'm saying it. But yeah, August just looks super good for you guys. All right, we're going to do the love card now and see what any relationships or love will look like in August. Oop. All right, so that is not the message that I was expecting for you guys since you have such a happy month, but we've got to work with what the cards tell us. So, what I'm getting right now is actually that perhaps you recently went through a breakup where you knew that it was the best thing. And so these positive cards that are behind this are saying that you know that you made the right choice, even though it might have been a little difficult, but that you're pretty happy with the decision that you made. And this card is showing that maybe the person on the receiving end of that breakup is kind of regretting what happened. They're regretting the way things went, the way they may have treated you, or the things that they may have done. They are, just really upset about it and kind of like, I can't believe I did that. What have I done? Meanwhile, you and the one behind it, you're going on with your life and you are making the best choices for you. And that's always a great thing. If you are resonating with this card for yourself, then I want you to remember that even if you are heartbroken right now, even if this is you and you feel very sad about something, you're disappointed, upset that something happened or ended, then remember that these other times are ahead for you. That when breakups happen, it's usually for really good reasons. And even though we hold on to these ideals, those usually were not reality. Not to get too psychological, but I really do feel like this is the other person and that these other cards are the representation of what you're mostly going through in August. Okay, we're going to do your last card, which is the Oracle card. And here we have the Star. So to me, this just reinforces all the positive cards. The Star is the card of hope. It is the card of dreams, of looking to the skies, wishing upon a star, and even potentially star-crossed lovers, even though this isn't particularly the romance draw. But it reinforces, I mean, these imageries are very similar, right? Like, it reinforces that you have the power within you, that the good times are ahead, that there's always hope to look forward to, and that in August, I just feel like it's a very sunny, hopeful time, and that you're going to have a really good, relaxing, solid, celebratory month overall. Okay, pile number 3. You chose the Smoky Quartz. And out of all the piles, I actually see more of the storyline with yours. The others, I felt there was more themes going on, but yours, I see a definite story. So what I see is the Three of Swords. And I think that either very early on in August, or even probably earlier in the summer, or even maybe late spring, there was some heartache. There was some betrayal. There was potentially a very hard breakup or complicated situation where your heart felt stabbed. Your heart felt very broken. And I see a lot of like emotions kind of with this. Like, maybe you tried to write it out. Maybe you tried to do some creative things to like get your feelings out, or this could even be not literally writing, but maybe you tried to communicate your feelings to this person so many times, and it just felt like you were wasting. I speak in metaphor sometimes, but that you were wasting ink, okay? Like, you just kept spilling out your words, and it just didn't do any good, and it left you alone and heartbroken, and it was just a really hard situation. So I see that again. I personally feel that it was earlier in the summer and or even late spring. But then we move on to the Page of Swords. So this is a really like uplifting card. I feel like you went through a period of mourning that loss, and being sad and being depressed, and then you kind of started to get your wits about you. So we have more books down here, and it looks like, this could represent like a literal class, but it could also represent that you went to reading some self-help books or things like that, or you just did a lot of like experimenting and learning, okay? And you started to feel energetic again, you started to feel hopeful again, and this card is very much like this guy is like putting his sword up to the sky and like, I'm gonna do this. Like, here we go. I am excited. I'm gonna get myself out there and I'm gonna try again. And I really feel like that was you, possibly this summer. And with COVID and everything going on, like if this was in like March, April, May, like it was just a sad time. And then kind of things lifted, and I feel like that's kind of also this, because he's lifting it to the sky, and it's kind of like the depressingness was lifted and you were able to go and get some of that excited, new, going out into the world energy back. And then with the Two of Cups, I mean, it's a great card. I feel like in August, August is very tied to beaches, beach imagery and all of like a lot of August decorations. And so this card really says to me, in August, you guys are going to be moving forward with a new relationship. And that this relationship is going to be fairly equal. In this deck, they both have these witches' hats. They both have blue. They both are looking at each other pretty intensely. Apparently they both have cats and they both have brooms. It's just it speaks to me a lot of connection and a lot of equalness, equally matched. And I might not see that this relationship is going to be like the one, but I definitely think that this relationship will bring positive things, whether it is you feeling like now you've gone out there, you're trying again, there's some new hope, whether it is you meet someone and you become really good friends and they add a lot to your life. And again, it's just like this progression to like better and better and better. But I definitely feel like this energy is happening in August. And again, I don't maybe necessarily get the feeling that this person is going to be marriage and lasting forever. So maybe if you start to see someone, just go with the flow and kind of see where it takes you and see what kind of positive things it brings into your life, instead of possibly thinking too hard about it or taking it too seriously at this time. Okay, now we're going to do your love card for August, even though you kind of already had love there. So it is the Princess of Coins. And what I see here is, again, a pretty big payoff, if you will. A pretty big realization of the power that you hold and the way that you have gone about growing and changing and becoming happier and happier and more fulfilled over the course of the last 6 months or so. I definitely see this heart, as an opposite of here, okay? Instead of these swords stabbing it, there are wings. It's flying and there's a crown. And I don't know if you can see, but there's little lines. There's actually 3 little lines going through it. And I just see it as like triumph. It's triumph over this heartbreak. Even though she's alone in this card, which again, I said maybe this isn't going to be a lasting relationship, but it's still going to be very positive. You might be happy being independent and you will feel, pretty prosperous. Now, whether that means money-wise or whether that means just prosperous in the sense of like, you have everything you need. Like, you have made the changes. You feel good. You feel really good about yourself right now. And August is going to really bring those feelings home. I always like to touch on August being like the first of the harvest season months. And to me, like, I think she looks a little pregnant, which, okay, that does not mean you're pregnant. It could, but that's not what I'm seeing. For me, it more represents that feeling of fullness, that feeling of like, I did this, like I accomplished this, I grew, and I am really good right now, and I am bringing things into my life. So pregnancy can be like a metaphor or a symbol for birthing, a creative idea, or birthing a financial a financial bonus or like completion of some kind. I just feel like, like a really big independent growth vibe going on. And so I think that this is like the more mature version of this, right? You get more and more and more mature, and then here you are, like the Princess of Coins, the Princess of Pentacles. It's very solid, it's very reassuring, and it's just a very calm, happy vibe. Okay, so your last card is the Liminal Oracle, and it is the Environment card. And I see the Environment card not necessarily having to do with like the literal environment, but I see it as the environment that you have created for yourself over the course of these months in this journey. You have created an environment for yourself that is stable, that is not toxic, that is an environment in which you can grow and learn and kind of just relax and be yourself. And that is a great place to be. So it's all about remembering on those hard days that it's the environment that you create in your physical space. So like if you are living and you have a total messy room or messy house and that stresses you out, like you got to clean it up, right? So like that's your environment. Or if you make it a point to put things that you love around you, calming things, whatever makes you happy, whatever calms you down, whatever makes you feel most yourself and most successful and most happy, make that your actual physical environment. And then your mental environment, I feel that you've been doing a wonderful job with that and a wonderful job at taking care of yourself and allowing yourself to grow. So I would just say continue to do that. Continue to surround yourself with people that bring positivity into your life and help you grow and that don't drag you down. And listen to podcasts or watch shows that make you happy. So just make your mental environment good as well. So all in all, for your guys' August, I feel like it's more of a culmination of a journey that's been going on for like the last half of a year, thereabouts. I mean, it could be a little longer, it could be a little shorter, but it's a culmination, and it is a happy culmination, and just keep going with that and keep that feeling of happiness and independence going. Okay guys, so I just wanted to thank you for staying with me today. The decks used, I'll put them in the list description links down below, but it was the Lover's Path Tarot. And then we used the Everyday Witch Tarot. And then these were the Liminal Spirits Oracle Guide cards. So if you're interested in any of those, I'll put them in the link down below. Otherwise, thank you so much. Have a great August. Leave your comments down below as far as what resonated with you. And as August goes on, let me know what is going on and how it matches up with your picked deck reading. Thanks, guys.